Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, warshippers of all ages, welcome to the North American Grand Final of King of the Sea 13. We are proud to present this is 07 back once again in the big finals, trying to reclaim the champion title that they are well familiar with here on NA. Spawning on the north side of Northern Waters, they are bringing double Ohio, triple Moskva, Gearing, Daring, Marceau, and Ragnar. Zaf, what is KSC up to at the bottom end of the map?
Well, KSC coming to this particular dance with a Kremlin and an Ohio. As far as their cruisers are concerned, double Moskva, a Des Moines, and a Wooster. So I think we're seeing the Death Snail already starting to show up again. This time they're heading towards Charlie with Flow Ops' Gearing and Marceau and Daring rounding out their roster.
We've seen KSC play Northern Waters several times today. In fact, their last time on this map was from the South Spawn. So shouldn't be anything too shocking about what we're about to see. My expectation is we're going to see one of the Moskvas set up in what is that, about H1. The other one's going to cling to the island there in about G4. Aussie Zeus is Daring, going to play the bottom edge of the B cap. One of the Marceaus that's going to, let's see, which Marceau is that? Excuse me, that's Serpent Lord's Marceau, going to race out and try to bag A quickly, while the Doom Snail, that's Shadow Wolfish and Coop, and Floops' Gearing tries to kind of work up the 9 line over there. But let's try and kind of suss out what we think 07 is up to, Zath.
Well, it looks to me like 07 is currently set for a heavy A push. They're sending 4 assets over towards the A cap. They've got a Daring with the Moskva that's Price and Elgar. They're going to work together as a team and pretty much pussyfooted at B, back and forth until they get called off or they secure that cap. And then it looks like we've got Pizza with Ace Baby, Moskva, and the Ohio setting in position there to just kind of kite away as necessary from C caps. I don't think that they're planning on going into C, but with their current forces set up, I think we talked about it in the break. They're going to look for that weakness and they're going to exploit it just like a pack of Raptors would.
Yeah, I think we're going to be seeing a bit of probably a counterclockwise kind of move around this map, as the Doom Snail is going to be basically allowed to take whatever ground they want along the eastern edge, while 07 certainly has the firepower to kind of force the issue here along the western edge. Little bit of early action across the B cap. Some torpedoes coming in for Frice's Daring from down south. Those will miss, although he was radar there for a bit. I think that was Hitaki's radar picking him up, pushing him off the cap. Nothing doing. Now, at A, Serpent Lord's Marceau declined the cap and went way wide. He's over on the 1 line already, Zath.
That's interesting. But, I mean, it kind of makes sense. You typically want to put some sort of a cruiser or a Marceau at a position like that. That's a very strong position because you can use that island to isolate an opponent from everybody else.
True. Well, Serpent Lord backs in a bit, dumps his port torpedoes, and is going to hang over there for a bit. Triarch's Marceau, in the meantime, taking advantage of Serpent's position. He bags the A cap. Aussie Zeus on the bottom end of B. Go ahead.
Dan Loves takes a Gearing torpedo from Pizza. That's going to force a damage control. There it is.
I see it now. I had to look for Danny's position. He's our right flank Ohio over here. Okay, I got it.
That's correct. Yeah, he's
now Triarch. What happened to Triarch? He took a torpedo as well, Zath. Triarch took a Marceau torpedo over here. Yep, those Marceau torpedoes from Serpent Lord. One of those strikes home. Serpent Lord taking some gunfire, but it's the torpedo. Triarch down early.
Yep, and I misspoke earlier. Danny Loves actually did not damage control that flood. He just let it tick because it's 100% repairable. So why not?
Yeah, honestly, I feel like that's something that a lot of more advanced players do, right? By the time you take basics of survivability and the flood reduction flag, a full duration flood is only maybe 40 seconds. It's maybe a little worse than a fire. We let fires burn. Why don't we let flood ticks? It's all 100% healable damage, especially in early stages of a match like this.
It used to be a death sentence. Remember
it
back
used
when
to be.
the old?
Oh yeah. It was absolutely death sentence, and I think a lot of people maybe still have their reflexes as set for that, like, oh, it's a death sentence. But modern
Hmm.
floods in the world of warships not quite as extremely awful as they used to be.
Yes, very successful rework there on flooding
In
mechanic.
Absolutely. 5 minutes gone. '07 out to about a 40-point lead. They're ticking up A. KSC ticking up C. Both teams still jockeying for position, fighting over B. I'm a little surprised to see Dastard going all the way to the one line, Zath, but look at his position here south of A.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing. There's nothing wrong with it, right? They made it work early. Remember, we've seen KSC in '07 play this map from these spawns before. We saw it yesterday. And we watched Dastard do this. He went around, he went all the way kind of the bottom, straight up the one line and smashed John's Des Moines at the time. John the Ruthless's Des Moines was back behind that island in C2. But John's position now very different in a different ship, even. I'm not sure. I guess it looks like he's going to trade with Man with an RX-7. Dastard now taking that position. RX-7 now kind of headed back towards the east.
Well, I mean, we had that game before where RX-7 just kind of sat there.
Yeah.
Um, so, it's bringing back a little bit of memories from earlier today. But the fact that they're rotating out and swapping positions, I do like it. The big question is, where are they going to put RX-7 now? I think Dastard going up the one line makes perfect sense. If that's the case, then I would expect to see Man with an RX-7 head to Foxtrot 3 to cover ACAP as Serpent Lord goes into it, or he goes himself up the edge of that island and gets into ACAP.
Well, we'll
But we'll
see.
have to see.
RX-7 now coming to port. Looks like he might be taking your suggestion there. BCAP, lots of shells going back and forth. They got some good hits into Hatake. He is a little alone out here. It's just Hatake and Aussie Zeus outnumbered here across the BCAP against Elgar's Moskva, Frice's Daring, and Eagle Lance's Ragnar.
That's correct. Now, Serpent Lord barely dodging some torpedoes from Triarch. Looks like I'm not sure if they spotted him for a bit,
No,
maybe.
no, they're just guessing. They know he's in that general vicinity. There's actually more torpedoes coming in for Triarch, but he's going to dodge those. They ran out of steam just near him anyway.
Yep.
Dastard's push well spotted, although he's behind the island. They don't have eyes on him at the moment, but they certainly know he's there. He took a shot at John's Moskva as he continues to charge up the one line.
Look at RX-7.
Yeah.
Where is it going?
I think, Zaf, I think what they might do is they might bring him in to relieve Hatake. This is something that we didn't see them attempt earlier when they probably ought to have in
Hmm.
that match. They narrowly lost to Bonks on this map, right? They have the ability to bring this Moskva in and either potentially put two radars on the cap or maybe give Hatake a break, pull him back off the line a little bit, and let RX-7 cover things. And now it seems like they've realized they're going to do this. They're going to do this sooner. They've apparently, realizing that last game doing that was a bit of a mistake.
Well, right, but I think, and we talked about this before, the bigger mistake was just leaving A open as long as it was. But
True.
Serpent Lord is now going into A on the account that they've pushed John the Ruthless's Moskva back. Now, RX-7 and Hitake were both detected, so '07 knows that the Moskva that was guarding A has left, so they know that it's only Dastards and the Marceau Serpent Lord in A right now.
Indeed, there
There's
comes
the
the radar
radar.
from John. Yep, that should probably push Serpent Lord off the bottom of the cap for a good 30 seconds or so. They'll chip him
Hmm.
for a little bit of damage. He'll race out of range. And then once the radar's down, he'll probably come back.
Sure.
Now, while we've been gabbing, '07 has picked up B, so they're starting to grow their lead there, now out to about 80 points, 9 minutes into this game. I don't know if you noticed that, but the Death Snail is completely broken up over here at C.
Yeah, I was just fixing to kind of comment on that. I'm really not sure why that's happened, but they definitely need to reform themselves if they want to make this into a cohesive unit like we've seen in previous battles.
Serpent Lord taking about 3,000 damage while under the Moskva radar. He's reversing back into the A cap. There he
Yep.
goes. Not much '07's gonna be able to do about that now. A will flip hands momentarily with '07 on about 100-point lead here as we come up near to the halfway mark of the game.
I mean, Eagle Lance is, just long range, 16 kilometer
Mm-hmm.
Rain, just raining down on Hatake.
Yeah.
I
You can
mean,
you can do such nasty things with a max range Ragnar. That ship is
well,
so good.
what I'm getting at is at what point do you say this isn't working? At what point do you say, you know what, we gotta move
Yeah.
these assets? The static play isn't working for them.
Well, and I think you're starting to see that. Look at Danny Loves' position, right? They've
Hmm.
brought Danny all the way over from the sea cap. He's not spotted. I'm willing to bet you oh 07 doesn't quite know where he's at right now. They're bringing RX-7 back over to the A cap. They own A cap, Zath, but I'm not sure yet what they're going to do with these ships, but they're obviously making some positional changes here as they're closing the gap on oh 07.
Well, Dastard is getting into a kite-away position. He just got picked up for a sec, so now O7 knows that he's doing just that.
Hmm.
Um, you know, obviously they don't want to overpush. When you push, you trade health for board position. They don't need that board position. There's no need to push and trade that health. So they're expecting O7 to push. Well, that's
Hmm.
great. The problem is that while that's going on, if they're able to farm off Itake, because he's once again continuing to be shot at from long range, as soon as he goes down, that hard-earned point gain is almost neutralized. More importantly, there's less pieces on the board to deal with an O7 push across all points. And we saw this last weekend when O7 just or was it yesterday? When O7
Yesterday.
didn't have in it, God, like just yesterday.
Yesterday.
When O7 had none of the caps, and they're like, we're fine with this. This is okay, no
Hmm.
problem. You know, three
They
minutes later,
seem Yeah, they seem to have brought Danny up to put shells down on Elgar's Moskva. He took a salvo there. He wasn't lit for it, but Elgar has to know where those shells came from and what they mean. So oh 07 probably has an inkling now that Danny's position over to the east is no longer there, as they are
hmm
putting some decent damage into Floops. I'm not sure how he quite got spotted. Marin taking one of Floops' torpedoes there back on the
yes.
B line.
I wouldn't be surprised if that was a Moscow radar, but we were looking elsewhere as well.
Very well might be, as the gap is narrowed to a little less than 20 points here with 7.5 minutes to play. We're going to have our first lead change here in a bit. KSC pulling Dastard well back off the A cap, leaving Serpent Lord to screen him. Torpedoes going in on Peyton's Ohio. He takes one on the
Yep,
nose.
yep, that forces a DCP. But the thing is, with Dastard this far south of A, there's really not much to prevent the enemy from pushing in. Um, so I think in the long term, we're just going to see him get farmed. But look at Eagle Lance once again, just holding down
Yep.
left mouse button and not caring.
Nope. Nope. There's our lead change, by the way. 7 minutes to play. KSC out to their first lead of the game. Giving ground here at A, but oh 07 not quite on the cap. oh 07 has the forces here to get onto the cap, though. By bringing Eagles Ragnar over, they have the potential here to step back onto A and kind of flip back the lead here. They have plenty of time to make that happen because it's only about a 20-point lead here for KSC.
Right. But that lead's going to change soon because Eagle Lance is going to go in. And with RX7 in his current position, he's not in position to stop. So it's really 4 against 2 right now. Danny loves curling in as well. Dastard now doesn't have the ability to defend A anymore. He's behind the island. That means it's just Serpent Lord, 1 against 4, and he's now detected.
Yep,
Uh,
Eagle Lance was spotted on the surface because 7.5 kilometer detection. When he does that, he pops his radar button to find out who's spotting him. He finds Serpent Lord, and that's when the fight started.
right. So Serpent Lord is literally by himself, probably calling out, everybody, I need you to shoot Eagle Lances, and everybody's saying, I've got a shot.
No shot. Now, and to his credit, oh 07 has 2 ships on this flank with no shot on Serpent Lord. That's Triarch and Peyton, the island preventing it. But Serpent Lord has to run because Eagle Lance at least has John the Ruthless there for backup, whereas Serpent Lord doesn't have anything. So he buys them a little more time, holds the gap open at about 26 points or so, a little less than 30 points now. oh 07's going to close that up real quick once they finish bagging A.
Right.
Aussie Zeus at the south side of B, however, looks like he's going to make a play
Uh-oh.
here.
Oh, Coop almost went down right there. Long range fire. Here's Marin shells.
Oh, they've got Coop very low over here on the 10 line.
Oh, yeah, he's dancing. He's doing some serious dancing.
5K and trying to dance, looking for island cover. trying to block line of sight to pieces of Pizza's just gearing that's got him lit. He does manage it. He goes dark right there.
Yeah, but that's a very tenuous dark. He doesn't have that big of a... Oh, my
It is.
goodness.
And it's not like they don't know where he is, as Aussie does finally step onto B. That prompts the radar from Elgar. Nope, no radar from Elgar. My apologies. I made an assumption.
Yeah, I don't think that Elgar's radar is ready just yet.
We're under 5 minutes now. KSC on a 20-point lead, flipping B, playing a very tight game of control here with 07, who have proven themselves in tournaments past to be very good at that kind of game.
Yeah, and look at how close they're getting to Aussie with blind shots.
Yeah, they know approximately where he is.
Also, notice how 07 has completely left A now, other than putting John the Ruthless there as a tripwire Moskva with his radar.
Aussie's lit. John the Ruthless's radar is going to pick up Aussie. Are they going to be able to reset him in time? The answer is yes. Yes. Just barely.
Wow.
They are able to just barely bag the reset. But by burning John's radar, that will allow Serpent Lord back in if he wants. Nope, he's lit and taking fire over on the 3 line. He's not going to be able to get into that cap.
Well, that brilliant positioning by that Moskva, getting both caps covered as a result.
We're under 4 minutes to play. There's 10 points between these teams, Zath. 07 is about to steal the lead back as both teams go over 900. And they're farming out Marin's Ohio over here on the 9 line. That single kill could be the difference in the game if they can get it.
Coop is still under fire. They know exactly where he is, and 07's
they can see him now. He's lit. They can see him.
Yes.
But Marin getting very low. You know they're all calling for focus fire on Marin. Under 7K. Yep. That kill will give KSC a win in game 1 when they get it, potentially. He's healing.
Coop no longer detected.
Coop is dark. Torpedoes are going to miss. 3K
Marin
for Marin.
Is still alive.
Still alive, but still falling. Booster shells coming in. They're going to get him right. Oh, the heel ticks keep coming. He takes a blind shot on Coop and gets Coop down to 2,400. Marin's on 900 and falling.
342.
He's going to go out, and that's the game. There it is.
The game. Almost the game.
The lead changes, Zath, and unless 07 gets a kill right now, they have seconds to do it. KSC's going to win game 1.
Wow.
And they don't.
There it is.
They don't get it. 07 comes within seconds of victory, unable to keep Marin's battleship on the board. He is the only casualty of the game. A flawless victory for KSC. A very tight board control game that they actually manage to out kind of control 07 on.
Yeah, what a fight.
So one of the things that we should probably maybe have prepared viewers for over the course of all our gum flapping before we got here is that we've seen some battles up to today, Bonks, KSC, lots of death, lots of dismemberment, lots of destruction. But when you fight 07, you generally tend to find yourself in much more technical board control games. 07 very rarely risks a ship it doesn't have to risk or give you a shot it doesn't have to. So games with them tend to go a little longer, and they tend to be very much more board control technical kind of matches.
Right. But think about how close that was, right? All it took was one more penetration for Coop to go down.
Yep.
And all of a sudden now, 07 can find another kill someplace else, and there's life left in this battle. So
very much so.
What a close finish.
Let's go back to the analyst studio and see how Bogsy and Ensconce are doing here now that game 1 is in the books.